Staying tuned, Nigeria's downstream oil and gas sector is currently at an inflection point, with the impact of deregulation becoming more visible. As competition grows, bigger players are emerging, such as Dangote refinery, which now has a major influence in what happens in the petroleum supply and distribution space. The development has reinforced the call for a strong, effective and fearless regulator that would moderate the actions of all participants to save the market from being hijacked by any one player at the detriment of other competitors and the consumers. Downstream stakeholders have also emphasized the importance of a value creation, transparency and fairness in the sector, with a focus on creating a customer-first agenda and supporting refineries to ensure sustainability and growth. These were some of the views of players who spoke at a conference, that's the Energy Summit, which held recently. It brought together industry leaders, regulators, refiners, and marketers to discuss the transformation of Nigeria's downstream petroleum sector into a platform for domestic value creation and regional leadership. Well, let's continue this conversation. My guest is Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry. He's the president, Petroleum Products Retail Owners, Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. He joins me from Abuja. Good afternoon, Doc. It's good to have you. I think it's the first time in the new year. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too, and thank you for having me in your studio today.
All right, thank you so much. Well, I think I should allow you first. Well, we're moving ahead from deregulation and all of that, the PIA. Where are we with regards to implementation? Because many are still talking about the issue of needing more collaboration, more understanding, policy reforms that will really shape the downstream of our oil and gas industry. Where are we with regards to the PIA's implementation and how it affects players like you?
Well, I think right now we should, first of all, be very grateful to the President Bola Ahmed-led government, Tinubu-led government. Clearly, he has come, to lead with very strong policy directions and hoping, that these policies will eventually develop into something that will really give Nigerians the best value for economic growth and for even our day-to-day benefits as Nigerians. So where we are right now is we have a very strong player in the industry. The Dangote Industries, refinery, has come up. And we are very happy. We welcome the development. All that we have asked at all times is let's be able to make the industry to work collaboratively. Let's, the giant refinery that is our pride today, let it be one that can encourage, smaller players, mid players, storage owners, retail outlet owners like us to be involved in the business. And we are happy that a new regulator has come in that really is a no-nonsense person. And we are watching the dynamics of how the policy changes. Just last week we discussed about new rates that are going to be applied to different kinds of services that the regulators will render. So hopefully at the end of the day, things will get together for the best for Nigerians. And we, as retail outlet owners, Petron is ready to give the most critical service, that is delivering the product to the end users and ensure that there is consistent product in our retail outlets.
One thing that is important here is that there is need for a level playing ground. I think that is where we are headed. Now, do we have that with regards to operations in Nigeria's downstream? That is on one side. I'm asking you two questions in one. And the second one would be straight to the issue of the refineries. Just a few weeks ago, even the NNPC GCU himself talked about handing over those refineries maybe to private investors and all of that. So I'm looking at it that of all the efforts we've made to try to bring these refineries back on stream, does it not look like they were wasted efforts? That's one. And the other. What do you make of these two issues? First is the issue of the level playing ground and the issue of refineries functionality.
It's very critical that the downstream petroleum industry should operate on a very level playing ground for all players, whether they are big, mid-size, or small. Everyone has a critical service to render to ensure that there is adequate petroleum product availability, there's efficient service delivery, and there is continuous growth for the industry that will be able to drive our economic growth, because as you know, PMS today, AGO today, gas today, they are the engines, that's going to fire our growth economically. So it's very critical, that a level playing field be made, and we expect that to come from policies and policy explanations, clarifications, and implementation by the authorities, whether it's the upstream that's also impacting on the downstream, or mostly the downstream, the midstream and downstream regulatory authority. So that we ask for it, that there should be adequate understanding of what the industry needs. For instance, for us as retail outlet owners, we will be concerned if we have to pay so much to just renew our licenses. And after you have renewed your licenses, you now start getting challenges of how to get petroleum products. Which is why we give our support to Dangote to keep refining and ensuring that refined product gets to us, and also other sources of petroleum products that can help the availability of petroleum product that is so very critical, lifeblood to us to grow our economy. So that level playing field, we expect. And I believe that NMDPR is doing the best they can. We're in the room to talk about prices and what we did not agree on the service, on the charges that are going to be introduced into new service rates. And then the refinery. I'm sure that you saw that Petron's reaction to the statements that were made by the group CEO of NNPC. Though it was made to be so loud, I was even surprised to hear some narratives, like, oh, this is the Black Night, the road to ruin that's going to. No, we are careful because we are the last mile and we are the most impacted from anyhow you look at it. So if we have spent almost $4 billion to repair our refineries, and then at the end of the day, we are now being told that that was not sufficient. That's enough concern for any Nigerian. And I don't think that regardless of how highly placed or mid-placed or highly placed any Nigerian is, that's not what we should just throw away with a wave of the hand. And that is what we meant. However, we're also aware that NNPC today is already working with some technical groups that have come. I mean, I had the opportunity to interface with some of these technical operators in Port Harcourt. We saw some of them coming in to look at. So it gave us some hope that regardless of what has been in the public space, that the NNPC is still planning to go ahead and ensure that they engage private sector technical players that have the competent technical knowledge and also the funding to be able to ensure that we have our refineries up and running. And we indeed encourage NNPC to do more and do it faster. Not just only Port Harcourt, the Warri refinery too should have the same treatment. The Kaduna refinery should have the same treatment. These are fairly young refineries. So there are refineries elsewhere in this climate, in this world, that have done 100 years. And these are refineries that came on stream just in the 70s, maybe one of them in the late 60s. So we need to encourage NNPC to ensure that these refineries are working and there is petroleum product available to that, which is why we also hope that there should be some level of political stability in the states, in the region, and in the country, so that it can also help in ensuring, that the downstream sector is vibrant and able to deliver the requisite service to make Nigerians grow the economy on a daily basis.
So let me follow up with you on that. Does it mean that the political impasse in Rivers State, is it affecting business? How is that affecting your day-to-day business transactions and activities?
Well, political activities certainly will impact on our business, especially with the downstream operators, because if there is any peace, it impacts on the safety of our facilities. And if there is none, it also impacts negatively on us. So we are happy to see the new developments that are arising in Rivers State, where the governor and the FCT minister and indeed other political leaders are gradually coming together and ensuring that Rivers people will have good service, good political environment, which will certainly bring men and women that are ordinarily idle to work, so that there's no avenue where you can be able to, invite people that will make the electoral process, to be unstable. So we want to congratulate Mr. President also for that there is peace gradually returning, and we thank the FCT minister also for doing a great job, and also the governor. We encourage that peace and that unity to return so that we can be able to do our business more. The more peaceful Rivers State is, the more we as retail outlets, owners that are operating within the catchment area of the refinery, will be able to deliver our services to Nigeria's good.
Now, one or two more questions before we wrap up. Now, we have information maybe from some quarters, and I'd like you to help us see if you can confirm it, that even importing PMS at the moment, the landing cost on all is almost lesser than the amount you could, it's lesser. I think that's the argument, not almost. It's lesser than the amount you could even get in country. How true is that? We also hear that Dangote refinery says it has met up with a 650,000 barrel capacity. So is he able to supply everyone at your last check?
Well, if Dangote refinery actually goes to produce 650,000 barrels per day, and the volume of production is increased, that should certainly serve Nigeria. But while that is not the case today, we have to have petroleum product from any other source that's going to be able to augment for the difference in that production space. So, of course, I've read from foreign tabloids and about the issue of 650,000 barrels already going to start being operationalized. For me, in my capacity as national president of the Petroleum Retail Outlet Owners, it's a happy information, and we welcome it totally. It will help us to replan, partner effectively with Dangote Refinery, and ensure that we have products available at all times in our retail outlets, so the stations can be less. But as for pricing for imports, for some time now, Petron members have not imported. We are, sourcing for product from Dangote Refinery and from whatever other source that we have. So I'm not in a position today to say this is how much petroleum product is landed. But what I can tell you is that even Saudi Arabia, that is producing self-sufficiently for their use, also recently, from the news we heard, imported even from Nigeria. So that means that a refinery or two refineries working effectively and efficiently in country does not also give any room for importation of products not to be there. The United States of America recently imported product also from Nigeria. The United States has tens, hundreds of refineries that are operating across the country. And that is a population size of about 400, less than 500 million people. So, and they're still imported, at least one cargo from Nigeria. So it tells you that importation is not in any way designed to reduce the local production capacity. It may be, in fact, for anything that's worthy, to be a source of encouragement to ensure that at all times there is petroleum product in country for use by Nigerians. So that's what I would say.
It's a good way to live it. But let's wrap this up now. What will be your outlook for the industry, considering all that we've laid down at the start of this conversation? I know there are still challenges and there are still hurdles to be crossed with regards to the downstream space of Nigeria's oil and gas industry. What will be your parting shot for this?
Challenges will continue to be there. There is no situation, no country today that will not have challenges in any sector, even in agri sectors. So that the downstream sector of Nigeria will have challenges, we should be prepared to be able to surmount them. We should come up with very effective economic thinking, practical projections of how we can be able to conquer any challenge that will face us. As far as I've seen, the production capacity that we're going to be looking into this year will be maybe about that 2 million, 2-point-something million barrels per day, ultimately by the close of this year. That's what I see. I see quite a lot of activities coming in to look at how prospecting can be reintroduced into Nigeria. I see the bid rounds that are coming. The interest is very high. I also see quite a lot of refinery owners coming into set up, shop in Nigeria, because the Akwa Ibom Deep Sea is coming. The Dangote refinery is already there. Azikiwe refinery is almost getting ready in Bayelsa to depart. So ultimately, Nigeria may be a major, hub for petroleum product export, which again is going to be a very great one for our economy. And I think the prospects are high. As for level playing field, I believe that with the new regulator we have and the president's intention to ensure that policies are made to work, I believe that we'll be able to get it right. The Honorable Minister of Petroleum, Senator Lokobiri, is doing a great job. The one for gas is also doing a great job. We just left a meeting with NATO having their AGM, and so much accolades were presented to the president and even to the PCNG and operation. So the outlook for Nigeria is very high. We are going to an election year. My advice on Nigerians is let's be peaceful, let us work collaboratively, let's support Mr. President's policies, look at all the good things that has happened, give ideas on how we can grow them much better, and expect better outcome from 2027.
Thank you so much. Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry is the president, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petra. And he joined me live from our Abuja studios. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day.